Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're going to completely demystify the New Mexico state tax extension process. I know, dealing with taxes can feel like a giant puzzle, especially when you realize you might need just a little extra time to get everything together. But don't worry, we're going to break down every single step clearly and logically for you.
But first, did you know that missing your state tax extension deadline in New Mexico could lead to entirely avoidable and, frankly, unnecessary penalties? Let's make sure that doesn't happen to you. Whether you're an individual filer or you're managing a business, understanding exactly how and when to file for an extension is absolutely vital for protecting your hard-earned money. Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our clear roadmap for today. We'll cover state tax extension basics, essential dates and deadlines, required forms and documents, filing and payment methods, what happens after filing, and finally, common mistakes and tips.
All right, Section 1, State Tax Extension Basics. What you need to know. Right off the bat, we need to address the absolute biggest misconception out there. A tax extension is an official approval for additional time to file your tax return documents. But, and this is literally the most important thing to remember, it does not extend your deadline to pay any taxes you might owe. An extension only buys you time for the paperwork. You still need to estimate your taxes and pay them by the original deadline if you want to avoid accruing interest and penalties.
So there are two main paths you can take to get that extra time. Now, New Mexico is actually pretty generous here because they automatically honor the federal 6-month extension. If you already have that federal extension in hand, you're usually good to go for the state. But if you don't have a federal extension, no worries, you just have to manually file New Mexico Form RPD 41096.
Moving right along to Section 2, Essential Dates and Deadlines, marking your calendar.
Look, the absolute key to remaining penalty-free is knowing exactly when your specific paperwork is due. Let's walk through this real quick. Notice the big contrast here? For individuals filing a PIT-1 and C-Corps filing a CIT-1, your original deadline is April 15th, and a 6-month extension pushes that right to October 15th. Simple enough, right? But if you're an S-Corp or a pass-through entity, your deadlines are a full month earlier. Your original deadline is March 16th, and your extended deadline is September 15th. Mark those calendars.
Okay, Section 3, Required Forms and Documents, Gathering Your Paperwork. Let's break down this absolute alphabet soup of forms, shall we? As we talked about, Form RPD 41096 is the actual application for the extension if you don't have the federal one. But remember how we said you still have to pay your estimated taxes? Well, if you are making a payment, you absolutely must detach and include a specific extension payment voucher that matches your exact entity type. Individuals use the PIT-X det, corporations use the CIT-X det, S-Corps use the S-Corp-X det, and pass-through entities use the PTE-X det. Hitting the nail on the head here, matching the voucher to your entity is absolutely essential.
Up next, Section 4, Filing and Payment Methods, Executing Your Plan.
Time to actually take action. You've got two clear step-by-step options to submit your payment. Option 1 is online via TAP, which stands for Taxpayer Access Point. You just head over to tap.state.nm.us, click Make a Payment, and boom, it's instantaneous. Option 2 is the good old-fashioned mail. If you prefer paper, you'll send your physical check along with your specific payment voucher to P.O. Box 8390 in Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Now, what's really interesting here is the cost difference depending on exactly how you pay online. While an e-check on the TAP system is completely free, using a credit or debit card comes with a specific 2.40% convenience fee. The state calculates this strictly to cover the charges they get from the credit card companies. So definitely factor that little detail into your strategy.
Let's look at Section 5. What happens after filing? The aftermath.
I really want to highlight the stakes here so you know exactly what to anticipate. If you miss your payment deadlines, New Mexico enforces a combined late penalty, and it's hefty. It is 2% of the unpaid tax for every single month it's late. This penalty caps out at 20% of your unpaid tax, and on top of that, you have daily accruing interest. Yikes, right? This perfectly illustrates why getting an extension for time to file while still making that estimated payment on time is literally a game changer.
But, it's really important to ground these bureaucratic rules in reality. The state actually does show a lot of compassion in verified disaster scenarios. For instance, victims of the South Fork and Salt fires in Ruidoso were granted special penalty-free extensions. In qualifying situations like that, taxpayers simply needed to notify the Taxation and Revenue Department to receive those disaster relief exceptions.
All right, our final section, common mistakes and tips, staying compliant.
Let's review some crucial tips to help you avoid the most common pitfalls. A super common mistake is mailing a physical check but totally forgetting to include that specific payment voucher we talked about earlier. Without it, your payment can easily get lost in the system. Another huge mistake, specifically for corporate filers, is ignoring the mandatory $50 corporate franchise tax, which, by the way, is owed even if your business had zero income. And here is a fantastic tip for you. Maintaining good tax standing with your proper identification numbers actually ensures you're eligible for state aid. In fact, being fully compliant in the system is exactly what allowed over 4,600 households to receive recent $750 low-income household relief payments. So, staying compliant literally pays off. Now, before we wrap things up, I do need to clearly state that this explainer is for informational purposes only and should not be considered as financial advice. Please consult a tax professional for personalized guidance regarding your specific circumstances in filing a state tax extension in New Mexico. So, I want to leave you with this final thought. Now that you have the gift of time, how will you ensure your final return is absolutely flawless? You've got the tools, you understand the exact deadlines, and you know the forms. Take a deep breath, gather those documents, and use this extension to get everything exactly right. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and happy filing.